We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2101. Today is Wednesday. We are talking about how we manage the massive inbound seller response we get to our mailers. Whew.
We?
Yeah.
How we? It's like when I say how we pull data and you go, tell me about how you pull data, Jill. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. I don't.
How Jill and her team manage the
No, you
massive
didn't have to do that, but I just said it was
amount of inbound seller response to our mailers.
that would be
To
every
the
now
person
and
who
then.
does the mailers,
Yes.
thank you.
That's you.
I know.
Thank you. Yeah.
All week this week, Jill and I are talking about how we're planning to earn $2.5 million or more in 2025 buying and selling real estate. Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
Okay, so Roy wrote, I have a seller that owns a property via an LLC. The LLC has multiple members and all are willing to sell. The property is a mix of vacant land, farmland, some with current leases, and an old home and some barns. The sellers are offering to let me buy the LLC directly to avoid the transfer tax,
California.
triggering a reevaluation of property tax. Are you sure about that?
There's no other place that I know of that has a transfer tax.
Okay.
Possibly New Jersey, maybe New York.
Okay. That was a sincere
Or
question.
Canada.
So anyway, triggering a reevaluation of property tax and a couple other benefits. This sounds good, but buying the LLC sounds like I'm opening myself up to potential legal issues unless I have amazing corporate due diligence. Anyone have experience in determining whether to buy the LLC or to just buy the property directly?
Yeah, from an accounting perspective, we call this an asset acquisition or a stock acquisition. So in the simplest terms, think about a McDonald's. You're buying a McDonald's and you want to buy either the company, the little location, the single location. Let's call it a fast food restaurant that a mom and pop own, like a McDonald's. So you can buy the assets, so all the equipment, the building, hopefully, or maybe not, all the inventory. So that's an asset deal. And those are the kinds of deals that we do weekly here, all of us at Land Academy and all the members. They could come to us and say, I know you want to buy the restaurant and the building and all of that. I'll sell you the company, which means that I am buying all kinds of stuff that I don't know about. Maybe their debt. Maybe they have a bunch of debt. They have a mortgage. I'm going to have to assume that. Maybe they have all kinds of accumulated payroll taxes that they haven't paid. So I have to catch those all up. And so it's you never want to buy.
It's true.
Unless you're this is your business and you're set up for it and you have a team of lawyers and acquisition specialists. Yeah. I know a lot about this because I used to do it. I used to buy and sell long-term care facilities like nursing homes and assisted living facilities, and there's a lot going on. There's a huge acquisition and disposition process that happens when you sell the stock of something. So I don't want to make this boring and complicated. Don't do it, Roy.
You know what's interesting about this? You bring up a good topic. We can go in Data Tree and you can pull ownership for the LLC. So it's really easy to see every piece of property they own or have owned in the country. That's not hard. I wish there was a massive database of everything. Like they could have had cars in the LLC.
Yes.
They could have had, like you said, companies, employees paid. There's so many different things, insurance policies, all kinds of other things in the name of the LLC. There's just not a massive way to double check that. Now, you could, of course, make have an attorney draft some sort of document that says you're swearing to me that this is the only thing you've ever had in this LLC, and if anything else comes up, it's you, not me. But that would be even still a little bit scary, liability wise, of what could creep up. Very interesting.
So that's the scary part. The good part is this for the seller. Think about the fact that you might own a piece of property or all kinds of stuff, cars, everything in that name of the LLC.
Right.
So when I buy your LLC, there's no transfers that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the stock of the company. I now own it. It's a legal deal. I got the keys to the building and the whole thing, but there's no transfer of ownership at the county level. There's no DMV transfer. There's no real regular asset change of ownership. Mm-hmm. The change of ownership is really on a piece of paper, an acquisition and purchase and sale agreement that goes in everybody's safe when they're done. Mm-hmm. Here's the keys. Thanks for the money. I've got the documents, thrown them in the safe. Now I'm going to go run the McDonald's.
That's funny.
This is very taxing authorities, specifically California, know about this. This has been going on since the beginning of time to avoid transfer of ownership and taxation. And they know that. And so it's getting harder and harder, what Joe's saying. It's getting harder and harder. There's databases everywhere now. I'm leaving out all the ethical issues.
You know what's funny though? I'm saying it's so common with boats. That's the place that I see it all the time.
And airplanes.
Yeah, is large toys like that.
If you want an example of this, look up the story of 1-800-Flowers. And a guy purchased that, had millions of dollars of debt that he didn't know about. And he purchased it because they were out of business. 1-800-Florist or whatever it is. Do you know what it is?
I don't know.
It's a really interesting case study.
But there's 800 flowers.
Yeah. Sure. And this happened a lot of years ago, and he turned the company around, got rid of the debt. It was a nightmare acquisition for him.
Did anybody weigh in on this, by the way?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I'm curious now. I'm going to go look in Discord and see if there's like any attorney in Land Academy that said, here's how to do it, here's what you do, or don't do it.
Are you kidding? Lawyers would say, do this.
Yeah.
Hire me, do this.
That's what I want to know.
We're going to take 10 months together. It's going to cost about $200,000 or $300,000. And at that time, I will tell you that you can buy the property now.
Can you tell he loves attorneys just as much as he loves real estate agents? Thanks, Jack. Yeah, we'll use love loosely.
Lawyers have their place. It's for me to decide, not them, what their place is.
Thank you.
Today's topic's Wednesday. We're going to talk about how Jill manages the massive inbound of seller responses from our mailers that I generate.
Well, we talked
Is that
about
better?
What the heck? Yeah. Okay. But that's true. That has been Jack's job in this, or role in this, over the years, and it's never changed. Make my phone ring. That's it. All I care is make my phone ring, whether it's on the buy side or the sell side. Now I do the sell side and manage that too. It's really the buy side, because no one's better. So great. Here comes all this stuff. We talked about it earlier this week. There's waves, there's the initial wave, which is initially they just got it today. Here they come. Some are mad, some are thrilled. You get a variety of things. Usually it's a little too soon for them to really act on it. They need to kind of make some decisions, but be ready, because you never know. Then the middle of it is the real juice, the meat of it. Like, all right, we got your letter a week ago. We talked with all the kids. I think it was over the holidays, and then I opened up our credit card bill, and this couldn't have come at a better time. These are all the really good stuff in the middle. And then it'll trickle off towards the end with you have an expiration date. Ours is usually 90 days. When the offer is set to expire. So there's some call to action for these folks, and they will call you. And then they panic when they call you the day after. It's the sweetest thing. Will you still honor this? Let's look at it. Let's see what I can do for you. And then there's going to be 6 months later and 6 years later, stuff like that will happen. So how do I manage this? Well, number one, be ready. Whether it's you or someone on your team or Pat Live, I want a live body answering the initial call right away. I've seen so many people fail because they had a Google Voice with an automated messaging or texting or something, because they're at their day job and they can't take the call, and they miss it. And those people often will hang up, and good luck getting them again. They're not even, they hear your message, they know you're kind of in business, but they were hot and ready to talk about it. at that moment, and you miss that golden opportunity. So I want you to first have that. Number two, I want to make sure that you or whoever's answering the phone is the best person that should be answering the phone. You can't have your grumpy grandpa, because he's home all day, with nothing to do, answering your phone. That's not going to be effective. And if you're that grumpy grandpa, know that, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just know that you're not the best person that should be answering the phone. Jack and I have talked about this a lot over the last few months too. It's common knowledge. Look at all the statistics out there of how many women are making these decisions. So if you have a woman answering the phone, that would be my favorite. It doesn't have to be, but if you have a inspiring, helpful, friendly female voice on the phone answering these calls, you're going to get a lot more deals right out of the gate.
Yep.
Especially if it's a guy calling. If it's a woman calling, it's like, oh, well, now we're on the same page. This is good. But if it's a guy calling, it's going to so often disarm them and be like, oh, okay. And then you're a smart woman. Make sure it's a smart cookie who has a list and knows the questions to ask and come across smart. Then they're going to be like, all right, now I'm going to take this all seriously, regardless of who's calling. And then I'm trying to think of my last point, which is, engage them. Ask direct questions so you get the information you need, about the property, and ask a few healthy, open-ended questions that gives you an opportunity to find out more about the property, like when was the last time you saw it? Let them talk. Well, here's a story. My dad had it. I actually didn't even know he had it. We visited it for the first time last week when we got your letter. I found out, I can barely get to it, fill in the blank. And then see what's happening. You're going to get information, and you're going to have a chance to build rapport. You're going to find out, when did Dad pass? Actually, just passed, on Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Now I have a relationship with this person, and I'm real. And now I have an opportunity to kind of befriend them and solve this problem together. That's how I think about it. I'll end it on this for me, and you can ask questions if you have them. I see every inbound seller interaction as an opportunity to solve a problem together. Their problem is they want to get rid of it and they want cash instead. And I'm solving the problem because I want the property in lieu of the cash, because I'm going to do something else with it and make it more cash.
This is a huge component to why Jill and I are so successful, and why she thinks $2.5 million this year is too low. What's the secret sauce here? If you had to really just kind of
said it. It was this.
Paraphrase, in a sentence, like in a soundbite, why are you so good at this? Everybody wants to know. What's the secret? Because
I or my team is really here to solve the problem for the seller. Not create problems, not overwhelm them, not scare them. Solve the problem. And solving the problem continues into, I don't even know what to do. I'm a seller. I'm like, oh, this is all great, Jill. I don't want this piece of paper, which is in my hand, which means this property. You're going to give me cash in lieu of that. Yay. I don't even know how to handle it. Don't worry about it. I got this. I'll email you a little checklist. You can kind of watch, so you can kind of know how it goes, and what to expect from escrow and things like that. And I'm right here. We're going to do it together. I'm solving that problem. That is it. And then I'm also quickly identifying, that's a whole nother topic, but I'm also quickly identifying if there is a problem, because sometimes there's not a problem. Sometimes people call back and they're like, I just want to know what it's worth. I have no intention of selling it. I just wanted to hear, I don't need the dough. Everything's peachy. I intend to giving it to my kids. They've all said they wanted it. It's, it's got the family cabin on it, and we've had it for 3 generations. It's not going anywhere. They just, so then I go, all right, I hear ya. Good for you. You can move on. So, but that's it. It's.
Somebody told me a long, long time ago, this person was and is very successful financially. He said, if you meet people in your life from where they come, you will have anything you want.
Mm-hmm. That's always the case.
Meet these sellers from where they're coming.
You take it down a step further, like that even translates to, identify with them, try to understand their loss. Don't one up them, of course, but, be compassionate. Speak the way they speak if you can. Don't, like I said, don't ever talk over them. And if they're New York people and they're going really fast, up your game. Try to keep up with them.
I mean, I would take it way even further than that. In your marriage, do that. Meet your spouse from where they're coming. Mm-hmm. Don't judge them. There's all kinds of terrible things that can happen. Not necessarily in marriage, although that is true. In any relationship, meet your kids from where they're coming. Mm. If you have a 16-year-old daughter, she's in a way different place than you probably are, and it's probably not pleasant. We've been through this, and we as best we could, you just meet them from where they're coming and try to put yourself in their shoes. If they just broke up with a guy, it's the most tragic thing that's ever they think it's the most tragic thing that's ever could happen to them in their life. And we all know it's the next guy will happen.
Well, that's a common, not common, but that's a situation that we've encountered multiple times, which is we got divorced. Nobody wants it. We need to sell this thing. I need the money.
That's a seller situation.
I'm liquidating our assets right now. Good timing.
Whatever it is.
Funny things come from
if
that.
you buy and sell houses,
I want to give it to you.
If you want to hear some crazy stuff, send out a house mailer. We own House Academy too. Yeah. Jill and I buy and sell a lot of houses. And I'll tell you, you want to hear some crazy stuff? There's a lot of people that call us back and say, oh yeah, that price is fine. And then we start to hear the story. Mm-hmm. And whatever that is, 9 times out of 10, we're going to help them solve it. They need to clean the basement out. Sure. They need to be there for 90 days because they need to move back to Massachusetts. Got it. We can work with you on that. And then it just becomes the real estate deal of dreams for us, because they're not going to sell to anybody else. They don't really care about the price anyway. They just need help cleaning out the garage.
And you're a real person, what's funny? I haven't seen these commercials in a while. I'm sure they're out there. The We Buy Ugly Houses people.
No, I haven't seen that either. And all those franchises, even Homevestors and all that, they just all seem to be gone. I was thinking about that a few days ago.
They
used to have billboards.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. So cool.
Join us tomorrow. It's Thursday, and we talk about how we buy profitable properties that fit our acquisition criteria. This is imperative. It's so easy to see something shiny out there and say, oh, this will work. And that's a fast track to just getting off track and not succeeding. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.